How we position our body is going to impact where force goes into our body, obviously. So what I want to talk about here with the hyperarm work is how we can position our body around different joints to be able to support both the joint itself as well as the muscles above and below the joint that help to support it. So first one that we have here, we're going to look specifically at the elbow joint with all of these that we're going to be talking about. And so with the elbow joint, we look at the muscles that are above and below. We have bicep, tricep, and then we also have forearm muscles. We have bicep, tricep above, forearm muscles below. And each of those are held in an isometric position, or roughly an isometric position where they're not moving, so that I'm literally trying to direct as much force into that joint, into the tendons and ligaments around that joint as I can by keeping the muscles that are on both above and below that joint in the exact same place, right? So that the force goes directly into that. So this is a way that we can target a specific joint or the tendons or ligaments in that joint. In addition to that, on this exercise here, there's also going to be force going through that elbow joint, right? But the focus is not on the elbow joint itself. The focus is on the muscle pulling the joint through motion or through position with the bicep above that elbow joint, right? So the elbow joint itself that we can put force into, tendons, ligaments, joint, right? Then we also have the muscles above, in this case, the bicep, which can pull or which acts on that joint to help protect it. So this is going to be a little bit more of a concentric move, obviously, with the bicep, so that we can train that muscle to help accept force that is going into that joint. So that would be an example of above. This is another example of above, where now we have, again, we still have the elbow joint that is going to be taking force, but now we look at it and it's more going into the tricep that's above it. So we have bicep and tricep above, as we mentioned, and we want to be able to put force or bias putting the force into the muscle that is then we're going to train that to be able to help protect that, that elbow joint it's isometric, but it's isometric for a very short period of time. So this is going to be a little bit more muscular, right? So we have those examples of going above with the bicep and tricep. We have this example here where we're going isometrically with those muscles and putting it directly into the joint. And then we could also go, like with the wrist, we could go flex, extend, rotate, ulnar, and medial deviation with the wrist, where we're actually moving like we were with these exercises here, so that we're training the muscles that are below that elbow joint, right? Because then that would help to train those muscles below, just like we train the bicep and tricep above. And then also in this exercise, the muscles around the wrist are isometrically contracting, so that we're training the tendons, ligaments, joint, etc. of the wrist itself. So point being, how we position our body is obviously going to dictate or determine how force is entering your body, whether it's more muscular, whether it's more tendon, ligament based. And we can look at each joint that we have, go above and below, so we can train the joint itself with isometric contractions around that joint. We can train the muscles above and below by using the muscles to pull through. And in that way, we can help to train each of the actual joints itself, as well as the muscles above and below that help to control those joints.